Hey guys, so it's 3 a.m. here, actually just a bit after, and I'm trying to make 2 back-to-back videos, so just bear with me if you see me wearing the same clothes and makeup, because I'm just doing my best at this point. Alright, so let's start with, I had been preparing a dye video for you all, and so I don't know what it is, because like my phone is not even that old. I mean, it's still 11 Pro, but look, and actually I'm getting it replaced with one with a lot more memory, like I think it comes in like the first week of November. But for right now, like for whatever reason, I guess it's because my phone has like so little memory left, it keeps deleting sections of video, and not just like any specific, like, oh, just the ones that end, like random. So I filmed like a ton of stuff showing you guys dye techniques, and my phone ate it all. That's cool though, it's fine. Despite that, I still wanted to go over with you guys, show you who I dyed, tell you what I used, try to include like the chunks that are salvageable, and see what we can do. Alright you guys, so I'm going to start with, like I think it was last week before last, I don't even know what day it is half the time anymore, bear with me. But recently I had traded one of my Barbie Extra, and I traded her to someone on my Instagram for a Skylar, Series 1 Skylar from Rainbow High. And so you guys know, like, I'm so addicted to teal as a color, I swear. And on top of that, like, the color Emerald from Rit Dye is like one of my favorites. So, you know, I've done Teal Crystal, I've done a Teal Bella. For some reason, I just decided that skin tone in between, I needed a teal Skylar in my life. So that's actually what I did. I boil dyed her in the Rit Emerald. It's, you know, because she has that lighter color of hair on top, it gave some really lovely highlights. And, you know, I don't know, I just love the way it blended. Actually, these are Daphne's jeans, and I dyed them there. Okay, I boil dyed them as well for like a long time, like probably like 6 or 7 minutes. This is as dark as they ever got. So I'm thinking, if you're going to dye Daphne's jeans, just be aware that there is a chance they won't take color that well. This is also Daria's shirt, which I dyed for like just a few minutes just to kind of match the pants. But yeah, so this is a boil dye in Emerald for probably like 4 or 5 minutes on her hair, just because I really wanted to get it like as dark teal as I could. Like, so I like the greenish teal, but I like the bluish teal. So for her to have like multiple tones in her hair that came out as both made me really, really happy. Yeah, and I made the little necklace. It's just some little beads that came from, I think, like Michael's or Hobby Lobby or something like that. So that same person was super sweet. I think I mentioned this in a previous video. They sent me a violet, Series 1 violet, as just a little surprise gift in the package. Really, really cute. I'm super happy. Please ignore her bangs, because I put a hat on her and everything to smooth them down while they dried, and it didn't really work. They're still poking up. I'm probably just going to say skip it and remove them, but I just haven't yet because of just not having a lot of free time. So here she is. She was boil dyed in indigo, probably for about 2 minutes, as well as Poppy's dress and Kaya's hoodie. And she's got some Skylar's shoes on. But yeah, those bangs they're just kind of doing the wave. They're doing something. But yeah, so I loved having a violet with the dark blue indigo hair. But my other one, I'd left like colorful streaks in her hair, and I just never really bonded with her 100%. I ended up finding her a new home. I think I just needed one that was solid blue. Alright, next up is another one that the footage was kind of eaten on, but it's not really a big deal. I showed you guys my wine Bella previously. I dipped her one more time in the wine. Again, a stink bath of wine. I think I dipped her like 3 or 4 really brief times. I just wanted to get her a little darker recently because I ordered this dress off of Etsy. Now, okay, let me throw you guys some backstory. I never ordered like custom made doll clothes off of like Etsy, eBay, anything like that. I pretty much either get what comes with these dolls, or like I have so many different brands of dolls I collect, and a lot of them can kind of share clothes, so it's never really been necessary, and I've never found anything where I'm like, if I don't have that, I will die. But I was on Instagram, and I will try to make sure I link this person's Instagram as well. And I think it's called Mag's Rockin' Style. Like I said, I will definitely link them because sometimes I forget stuff or get it wrong. But I saw this dress in their Instagram feed, and it was absolutely just like, I have to have that. It's so perfect. Like, it's so cute. So I ordered it. Their service was great. It came in really, really quickly. And it's incredibly well made, you guys. Look at this cute little Dior dress. Doesn't, like, the Dior is perfect for her hair color. I love it. And snaps, not Velcro. Incredibly well fitted. A nice textured fabric. Very soft. Like, I would want this dress for myself. It is so nice. It's such a great material. I honestly might change my stance on ordering custom made doll clothes in the future. So yeah, like, and I think they actually have a few of these left. I'm gonna try to remember to link their Etsy store down below too, in case you guys want to get one. They also have like really great leggings and other just really cool dresses that they've made for Rainbow High and several other doll brands, including like Pulip and stuff like that. Definitely go check them out. I think their stuff is just really amazing. I just recently finished winter break, as you guys know. Like, I really struggled to find ones with good faces, hair that wasn't balding, etc. And like, when I say balding hair, I mean like, this is really bad. And in fact, my poppy was so bad that I actually filed a claim with MGA, which is not really something that I'd been prone to doing. I'd only done it once before, and that's, again, very recently with the Emmy that I had, whose sweater stained her super bad. So while I'm showing you this particular winter break, Sunny, I am going to tell you about my MGA experience. So I want to start by saying I don't know how they pick which dolls they replace, which ones they deem like off. And you can hear my dog snoring. I'm sorry, guys. She's really cute when she sleeps too. She has like these funny dreams where she makes like some really weird noises, like water droplets. I don't even know how to explain it. But anyway, yeah. So sorry. So my MG experience is that I don't know how they pick whose dolls they replace and who they don't. Because I've had people show me pictures of their dolls where their dolls were easily more bald than mine. But I did get a replacement, whereas they didn't. Or dolls that had like locked up joints, stuff like that, who haven't gotten a replacement. But like my stained Emmy did. So and my Emmy did not come with hands, but my winter break Poppy did. So I don't even know, you guys. Like, I really don't. I did dye this Sunny. Like, my first Sunny was so bald that I actually had to take hair from another doll and plug it into her head before I could dye her. And while somebody did give her a very loving home and they seemed really, really happy with her, like, I decided I was going to try again. So I did get this winter break Sunny. She has the Rit cocoa brown hair. So originally, especially for this part, she was dipped all in Rit Camel. And then I did now that was a sink bath in Rit Camel. And then I did a sink bath in the tangerine orange to tone it. And then I went over the top part and the bottom part with another sink dye of cocoa brown to darken it up a little bit. And then I did a boil of cocoa brown twice to get it this dark chocolatey color on top into the kind of caramelly colored ombre. So having a Sunny that's not bald, having someone who hooked me up with this Sunny, I was so grateful. But believe it or not, I actually have another one coming tomorrow in the mail that I found on eBay nude for a very cheap price because I kind of wanted to see what she would look like as a ginger. I don't know if maybe it's because I dyed my own hair like this kind of gingery color, but like I am so hooked on auburn right now that like it's not even funny. So I did do an experiment with human hair dye, and I do think I have a clip of that survived that I will throw on here for you guys, and it'll show you which hair dye I used. I used like just a very, very cheap, I think it's like the $3 Revlon whatever, and I think it was like, I don't even remember the color exactly other than it was auburn, but I used that on this poppy. So I left them for 5 hours, and in 5 hours, this is the color that was on the box. So, I mean, it came out what it was supposed to. The longer you leave it on with human hair dye, the darker it gets, until it just doesn't anymore. So that is a thing. But The funny story about this is I honestly was really worried it was not going to cover her neon orange. I was like, it's still going to show through. Like, I just don't have a good feeling this is going to work. But it did. Her hair, like I said, exactly matches the box. Now, you can definitely still tell that her hair, you know, had different colors in it because the neon orange dyed differently than the pink. But that's any time that I've dyed Poppy. Like, even when I tried to dye her brown with Rit Dye, her hair came out lavender and green. So those pink and orange things are definitely going to come out different no matter what dye you use. I just think that people should like know and be prepared for that, especially if you're going like one of the lighter colors. It might not come out the same. It might not come out the way you think. So just be prepared to tone, because that is very, very likely a thing. I did not do anything else with this to tone it. I did not add any Rit in. It is literally just the human hair dye left on for 5 hours. Alright, next up, you guys know how I feel about Ruby. And I probably already have, but I haven't mentioned it. I'm definitely going to be adding like the inspiration photos up in the corner, so that you guys will be able to see what inspired me and where their hair color choices came from. With Poppy's, as you guys can see from her inspiration photo, I was actually going for something a lot more, I guess, paler, natural than this, but like, I knew it wasn't going to get as pale as I wanted, but it did come out really close to what I wanted. Same with Sunny's hair. The end colors could have been darker. I actually chose to leave them lighter as I was dyeing them, but that's just a me thing. Alright, so Sunny and Poppy honestly were a little tough, but they were not terrible. But we all know that Ruby doesn't dye that well, so I didn't know what to do with her. I knew that regular Rit dye wasn't working. Human hair dye in black and in brown had worked, but I didn't know that if any of the other colors would take. Like, if any of the other colors would even make a difference. So I did decide to do Rit Dye more, which I never do, and I'm just letting you guys know in advance, dye more is very risky. There's a high rate of staining to your doll's skin, etc. But I didn't want to get it near her face. I didn't want to get it near any of her skin. I was just going to kind of dip her ends and do a red to whatever gradient. So I looked up some red gradients, and there was this one that was red to purple. And originally that's what I'd wanted, was a purple haired Ruby. But every time I've tried to take her purple, it has been way too dark. Now I do believe the color I used this time was Rit Dye more. I think it was like Kentucky Sky. So I did just her ends. And so as you can tell, like, some pieces just turn black no matter what color you use on them. Like, I used blue and her hair just turned black, but some pieces very much turned into purple. So I just want to say, like, I don't ever have enough time to style their hair properly, and then when they sit on the shelf, their hair gets like smushed either against the wall or underneath them, so it's always really flat. So please don't judge me, because like, they all need a recurl so badly, or re-straighten or whatever, including this girl. I really want to give her some very nice, I want to get a bigger crimping iron and give her some very nice crimps, but the red is still really shiny into the purple. I think that I wish I'd let it gradiate a little more down, because even the areas like closer to her face that I'd wanted more red, but like I just dipped them really quickly, still turned really, really dark. But I don't hate it. It is pretty much what I wanted, and I was actually inspired by this symbol on the sleeve where it's red into purple. So, I mean, it did kind of do what I wanted, but it's Ruby, and I've already accepted that this was as good as it was going to get. I tried dye more in the past with an orange on her hair. It didn't do anything. Pink really didn't do anything. Yeah, so this, honestly, I'm surprised it did this, but I think she looks cute in it. It goes well with her kind of pink and purple eyes. I'm cool with it. Alright, next up is violet. So you guys know I have a blue violet, I have a violet violet, I have like a super dark gray violet. I had tried a fuchsia violet before on series 1 violet, and I did the boil dip, and I absolutely hated it. It was way too, I don't know, it didn't go with her skin tone. And my friend had warned me, because they had used wine, that it also did not look good with her skin tone. So maybe it's just that those warmer pink colors or like reddish colors do not look good on her. But this time I did fuchsia. I did a boil dye, but I only did it for like 1 or 2 quick dips, like not very much. And so here she is, and I full on really love her. I think that this time around, I don't know if it's just because there's a different blend in Winter Break's hair, or if it's just that her makeup is different so that the fuchsia goes better with it, but I'm 100% in love. So again, this is just a boil dip in regular fuchsia. This was just a sink dip in the purple that I made just so she could have a sweater. And yeah, I don't know, I absolutely love her. I just want to say Winter Break Violet was by far the prettiest Winter Break doll in a way that like I didn't expect her to be. I think she was like 5th down on my to get list. Like she wasn't up very high. I think Ruby actually came before Violet. I don't even know why, because at this point, like, she's definitely up in the top 4. Easy. But it's hard to say, because Ruby was really the only one I didn't love. And honestly, she has a really beautiful face. I just didn't love her clothes this time around. Like, they were cute. The t-shirt was cute. The skirt was cute. I think that, like, the coat was cute. I think that might be it. The socks were cute. But yeah, she just... sorry. She just, like, wasn't my absolute favorite. Okay, real quick, let's go ahead and... I did an eye swap on Skylar. I really wanted to give her Cheryl's eyes. I did a brief experiment, took their eyes out, and that is a piece of footage that actually did mildly survive. The newer girls like Daphne, Cheryl, Daria, Emmy, with the more slanted eyes. And I think it's funny because I did this with the twins and the eyes were really close to the same size, but at the time I did not think to check the little dots on the back. So when I tried to switch the series 1 girls' eyes out with some of the newer shapes, they were not the same thing. The bumps on the back are different. Some of the eyes have 2 bumps, some of them have 3, some of them have 4. I think it may just be based on the face mold variant, but definitely different things. They do not work. So Skylar's eyes in Cheryl weren't bad, but Cheryl's eyes in Skylar, so the lid sat really low, and they just looked like really, really weird. So I'll definitely like include the footage of that, but I did end up just swapping her eyes with Jet. I don't think they look bad with the coat. They're still not exactly what I wanted, and if I get another, like a Kaya or something like that, I'll probably switch them out to the brown that I wanted. But for now, like, the purple is not bad. If she was wearing anything else, I'd probably like it a lot less. But for now, it's not bad. Alright, and then you guys have already seen my jade like a billion times, so I'm going to set these ladies back up here on the shelf. But I just wanted to talk about one thing really quickly in this video, and that is that I get asked a lot of questions about my husband, because if you follow me on Instagram, you always see where I'm like, Bear took me out and bought me new dolls today, or Bear took me to breakfast, Bear this, Bear that. Like, he is literally the love of my life. I was married twice before in very bad situations, very bad marriages. I won't even get into that. So I thought that the kind of guy he was didn't exist. I thought that I would never meet a good guy, that for whatever reason I just tended to attract a lot of garbage, and that was probably just, maybe good guys didn't even exist. Like, that was just the best I was ever going to do. And then I met Bear through a very bad situation, actually. Trauma bonding. No, but immediately he just proved that he was the kind of guy I'd always been searching for. Like, he could give me the thing that my father gave my mother, that my grandfather gave my grandmother, and that was that feeling of being safe and secure and loved, and he's really wonderful. So I don't want you guys to think that, like, he's just a paycheck who buys me dolls. He is the most amazing human being, 100% all the way around. I did ask him, because somebody on my Instagram asked if I would have him do a video with me so he could answer some questions, tell you guys what he thought about my collection, etc. And he gracefully passed. He said that this was kind of my thing, not really his. but he did say that he would always remain my #1 supporter and fan, and that he thought it was really sweet that everybody was interested in him. If you haven't seen him, I looked up a picture because I think he's really cute. Yeah, so back to dolls. So he did hook me up with a bunch of extra series 3 so I could start dyeing those. Because honestly, I've dyed series 1 and 2 probably to death. And there's, like I said from the last video, there's still a couple more that I'd like to have an extra of, which was what? Like an extra Jade, an extra Stella, and was that it? I think that was it. An extra Cheer Jade and an extra Amaya. And an extra Kaya. Yeah, and then I'll have dyed them all to death. But as it is, I've already dyed all of them at least 2 to 3 times each. In the case of Bella, I have 10 of her, and that doesn't include all the ones I dyed and sold off or dyed for other people. So it was nice to honestly have that change of pace and be able to have series 3 to dye. Alright, so real quick, so I wanted to start with Daphne because I wanted to explain that the hair color choice that everyone voted on my Instagram, the #1 hair color choice that won, I have not had a chance to do her bangs yet, first of all. And second of all, her outfit is still somewhere between China and here. So, of course, I ordered it off AliExpress, which means it's going to be a while before it gets here. Which is weird because I ordered like 3 things at one time. One of them should be delivered either tomorrow or Saturday. One of them is waiting to clear customs but has arrived in destination country, and one of them doesn't look like it's left China, so I don't know. Anyway, so it was the split dye, half chocolate brown, half mint green. She's going to get this kind of very Lolita style with the bangs, which I will make a video of how I do that so that you can see if it's successful, unsuccessful, which way I did it either way. But here she is. So this is actually just the Rit Cocoa Brown. And because, again, she has 2 tones in her hair, both green and blue, there are these tones that are more like almost a honey or cinnamon color. And then there are the tones that are kind of a darker, more neutral brown. But yeah, so this is the Cocoa Brown by Rit Dye. Again, it was a boil dye. I just separated her hair, did like a, was it painter's tape? I think it's called the blue tape. That doesn't like stick to anything or leave residue. And I just kind of taped it off and then split it down the middle and dyed that. So right now she's just in a ponytail because, like, I will eventually get to doing her hair. I swear I will, but it's just not. Okay, so Bear and I actually have an anniversary trip coming up, and it's our wedding anniversary. We are going to this really romantic place in a different state. It's called Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And it's during like the peak of like all the leaves changing for fall and stuff like that. We have this really cool room with like a hot tub and a fireplace and like, I don't know, a bunch of fancy stuff we're going to be doing. I'm really hype about it. So it's been really hard for me to focus on anything else because all I can think about is, do I need to buy something cute to wear, and have I packed enough, and which suitcase should I bring? And yeah, my brain is somewhere else, but her bangs will get done. Now with Daphne, I gave you guys 3 options, and I did say I would do all 3 options. That was the one that won to be done first. The one for the second highest amount of votes was actually an aqua to fuchsia gradient, and so that is exactly what I did for the second one. So for whatever reason, when they boxed Daphne, they split her hair in half, which makes it like sit kind of funny. So even after I boiled it, I guess because I had her leaning up against the wall, it did it again. But here we go. So this is a boil dip in aqua, and then a boil dip on the ends into a gradient of fuchsia. And then I also did Cheryl's white shirt in that boiled aqua. But like, even with boiling, because it's such a synthetic fabric, it just came out like a very soft pale blue, which I'm totally alright with. So again, she looks awesome in aqua. It goes really well with her makeup, even though her makeup is slightly more green. And then, yeah, she's got Gabriella's shoes on. So there is that. And then that means there is 1 Daphne left. And like I said, I'll be adding all of the pictures up here so you guys can see like what they were inspired by, what was voted on by everybody. She has 1 more dye left, and I think it's like I'd actually debated on doing the emerald green. And I think I mentioned that last video. I ended up doing it on Skylar instead because someone else in one of the Facebook groups did a boiled emerald on Daphne, so I got to see what it looked like without necessarily having to do it myself. It really wasn't bad, but it was almost too dark for what I wanted. I could actually probably do a sink wash and emerald on her, and if anybody does that, hit me up on Instagram and send me a picture because I would love to see it. But for right now, I think I'm going to go with the almost very similar to the mermaid style that we did, where it's a darker blue into a lighter, like, emeraldy color, or like a lighter blue, probably I guess like dark blue into aqua. I can't remember what the picture is, bear with me, but whatever it is, I'm going to do that because I do think that she would probably look really pretty with that darker color nearer her face. So we're gonna give that a try. All right, next up was Gabriella. Okay, so I'd already done the winning color choice, which was the pastel like blend. We did that. I did the dark blue. Like I said, I should have used denim. I don't hate the indigo, but if I were ever going to redo it, I would probably use the denim blue. With Gabriella, there were 3 color choices. There was the dark blue, there's the pastel blend, and then there was like a dark bluish gray color, or like a darker grayish. And so that's what I actually did. It still ended up bluer because her hair was blue to begin with, but this is actually the charcoal gray from Rit, and it is just a sink wash in that charcoal gray. Same with her dress. Again, just the charcoal gray. And I honestly think it goes really pretty with her makeup. Like, it ended up almost the same color as that dark blue band in her eyeshadow. I don't know that I love these shoes with it because of the heels, but I didn't know what other shoes to put her in, so it is what it is. But yeah, so I really love the way she came out. Actually, I think that I can't say she's my favorite Gabriella because honestly, like, pastel blend, you guys were right for her to win. Like, she was 100% A++. Alright, so I still need to get some more Emmys. I've only dyed the one that you guys saw last time that won. However, I did get some more Darias because Target was having this, like, really big sale where it was, like, buy, what was it? I think $100 and you save $25. So I actually hit up that sale not once, but twice. And of course, this week's sale was like one coupon for $25 off one toy, which I used that as well. And then I had like some Target, like circle dollars that I used. So you guys will see all of those purchases probably in the next video. But okay, so you guys remember the original Daria that won, the original dye for her was that Sunset Ombre. And I really love it. And then the other 2 colors that you guys had to choose from were a really beautiful orange. This is actually a dye, and I do believe it is the sunshine orange. I think it's sunshine orange. But because her hair was 2 different colors of pink, it definitely shows 2 different colors of orange. So it's got this one that's almost like a blood orange color, and then the other one that's like a very light, kind of almost softer yellowy orange. I know this dress isn't everything, but I did think it was cute, and I gave her one of the OMG jackets. I think it's for DeBoss. Actually, the outfit I wanted to put her in was a Barbie outfit, but I'm not sure yet if the pants will fit. So for now, I just have her in this very stylish sequin dress that I dyed. It is one of Violet's dresses. It was actually dyed in orange dye more like ages ago. I've rinsed it a billion times since then, so here's hoping that nothing rubs off. It shouldn't, but of course, anytime I use dye more because I've had their clothes stained before, I definitely worry. I still say don't use it, even though I occasionally do. I really only have it on hand because when I was dyeing bridal dresses for photo shoots back in the day, it came in handy. But with dolls, like, I care more about them. So, yeah. Alright, and then the next up you guys had, of the 3 choices. So there was the orange, there was the sunset, and then there was like a red. And honestly, oh my goodness, sorry. And honestly, I didn't know if red was going to look good on her. Same with the orange. Because of her makeup color, like, it was just such a muted, it's so weird, right? Because her hair is so vibrant, and then her makeup color is just kind of a muted burgundy and mauve thing, I guess, would be the colors I'd pick with it. So I wasn't sure that red and orange were even going to look good on her. And there is still a chance that at some point I will at least repaint their lips. But I do love the red on her, I'm not going to lie. So I actually have her in the t-shirt from the most recent Rainbow High closet. These are LOL OMG pants, which actually fit Rainbow High really, really well. And they're from the Movie Magic Starlet doll. She's got a pair of winter break ruby shoes on, and this coat is actually Creatable World, which they don't sell those anymore, but you can still find them on Amazon and stuff. So that's her outfit. I genuinely think she looks great with red hair. So happy I did it. Now, believe it or not, with this, you really don't see a lot of the blend in her hair the way you do with the orange. So that's kind of a thing too. Alright, so next up would be Georgia. I actually just bought her and I have not had a chance to dye her yet. However, for an upcoming week, I have 2 of them. So you will see her dyed in a video very, very soon. So all of these girls are getting at least 4. Gabriella is pretty much done. I have 4 of her now. I'm happy with 4 of her. I feel like that's a really good, solid number for me. I think I have like 4 violets, I have 4 crystals. I feel like 4 Series 1 sunnies. I feel like 4 is like a good stopping place with them. So I still need 2 more Emmys. I'm finished with Daria. I need 1 more Daphne. I'm not doing any more of the winter breaks. Like, I'm 100% over that. Or not. And then I'll still need 1 more Georgia. Of the colors that Georgia is going, there is like a mauve color, there is a cinnamon color, and then there's the winning color, which is this very beautiful, I guess they call it the fall gradient of reds and yellows and stuff like that. Again, there'll be pictures up. So that leaves Cheryl. I still need 1 more Cheryl, but as for the 2 that I dyed, there is, sorry, gotta lean in. There is the color that won, which is, again, that human hair dye that I used on Winter Break Poppy. I also used on this Cheryl. This is the color you guys voted for. And I left this on for 3 hours. I left it on longer with Poppy just because I really wasn't sure how it was even going to take to her hair. And with human hair dye, it's one of those things where it looks darker and then you rinse it off and it's like a lot lighter. So you have to leave it on for like forever. But this, I think 3 hours was right where I wanted it. So I actually based it off, it's actually a little brighter than the color I used on my own because her hair was yellow and mine was, it was something, and this is really faded. But I actually was picking out a color for myself when I saw the color I wanted for her, and I think it turned out really, really pretty. It's very, very soft. I will definitely, okay, like, the way this ring light is, and because there's not a lot of other light in my room because it is 3 o'clock in the morning, their hair could look different than it does like in pictures or in person. So definitely check out my Instagram for more pictures of her hair. But it's such a pretty color. It's just enough orangey that she looks kind of good in these dyed Kaya shorts and this Winter Break Poppy top, and then she's got the little closet shoes. Like, I really love it. The next one was kind of a shock. Okay, so during the vote, that is the color that won for Cheryl, was that really pretty, like, light auburn color. And then there was, I cannot remember if Cheryl was one of the few dolls that had 3 color choices or 4. In the end, I decided not to do 4 on any of them, but she might have been one of the ones that had 4 listed. So one of the colors for her was that emerald color. I honestly don't know now, looking at her in person, and mind you, I made that chart before I had them in person, if the emerald would go well with her makeup. It's still a possibility, but there's also another really cool color of hers that was, I think, was one of the ones that voted on, where it's like a neon yellow into like a orange into like a red, kind of like that reverse phoenix looking fire color. And so I might end up doing that for her final doll instead. Or if, like, later on down the road they're still out and I get bored, maybe I'll do both. I don't know. But for now, the other one that was for sure to vote for was actually one. So the picture was taken from eBay. It was from an Asian seller that had BJD wigs. And it was really beautiful, like, dark red into, like, a brighter red into, like, it had blonde layer and it had, like, an aqua layer. Now, because her hair was already yellow, the aqua layer wasn't going to be as light as what they had shown in that wig, but I decided I was going to take the risk anyway. I also dyed her clothes. I dyed a coat for her, but like, I didn't love the way it didn't. It was plaid. It was Winter Break Poppy's coat. Its plaid and her dress plaid didn't go together, so I ended up just sneaking in like a hoodie instead. But here is what is based off of that wig. And so the red at the very top in the center is darker. The red on the edges is brighter. And then it's got the aqua layer. And then in between those, it's got the layer that's still blonde. So, I mean, it looks really cool, especially in person. I don't know if it looks that great with the ring light and the glare and all that. But it looks really pretty in person. It's much more, I guess, like vibrant and dark. I think like the light washes it out a bit. But I honestly really like it. So weirdly enough, the bottom layer of her dress was obviously dyed at the same time and in the same amount of dye as the top layer, but they did not come out the same. I don't really know what that's about, but I've noticed that it does seem to be that way on anybody who's dyed her dress. So that's a thing, but yeah, I don't know. You guys probably think that this is not for you, but I really liked the like random 3-tone. It was not easy, honestly, to not risk getting the other colors on the blonde, because it was that lighter or lightest color sandwiched in the middle, but I don't even hate it. So there you go, guys. I've answered, I guess, like the question I get the most often about me and Bear. Everybody always talks about how great he is, and he really, really is. I think that maybe someday he'll join me for a video, but probably not anytime soon. I showed you guys everything I dyed. I've put in as many clips as I could salvage. We discussed the eye thing not being really an option, the eye swapping, because the little pegs on the back of that eye are what hold it into place, and it just doesn't sit right if they're not where they're supposed to be. So yeah, I will see you guys probably like the first week of November. I'll have a dye video showing the Georgias and anybody else between now and then. But now I have to wrap this video up so that I can film the next one. What's the next one, you ask? A giant unboxing video. But it's a Rainbow High unboxing video because I have noticed you guys really prefer Rainbow High to basically any other dolls I make videos on. So stick with what I know. Alright, you guys, I hope that you have a good one and get lots of sleep, because one of us should and it's not going to be me. Yeah, I will see you guys next week.